Hello, hello.
Is that the Scandinavian table?
What is today's live chat subject?
I think it's general Q&A. We're gonna do something different. We're gonna actually include everyone in the room. I told them to turn the camera around, get the levels down so we don't have feedback in the room. We're gonna have a mic in the room, and they can ask anyone anything. And I'm gonna pick the stupid questions.
You don't have to pick all stupid questions.
Huh?
You don't have to pick all stupid questions. There could be some good questions in there, surely.
We'll see. But let's not have an actual discussion. Yes.
In terms of performances,
Yes.
that one of the guys
They what?
they just don't want to hold the performance.
Okay. They're apparently.
I'm gonna be a bit of a
Do you want something? Something for that?
yeah, but do you mind if I don't?
He's got heroin for that.
They need to do something right after the thing with old X anyway. It's a special thing that we can talk about. But what? Yeah. But whatever you guys do, yeah. So there's gonna be like 3,000 or 4,000 fills. But whatever you guys want to do, it's your choice. Whatever. But let me get you something for the shows.
Hello? Hello? Hello, people? Are we missing some YouTube celebrity people out there somewhere? I do not see everyone. We're gonna do something different tonight because apparently, you know, Glenn thought it's boring. I got that all frickin' day. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit, Mr. Fricker. I'm not 100% sure what the schedule is, but I thought it was general Q&A. I'm really thinking about like a general major kind of joke, but no. So we're gonna bring some people up here, so I'm not by myself, but I asked my camera guy here to be able to flip it around, flippity flop. Tori knows what I'm talking about. And get the mic level in the room down, which you guys are gonna like. So we can have a mic in the room, and those people out there in the worlds of the YouTubes can ask anyone anything. Of course, I'm only gonna pick the stupid questions, but still. So I would like up here the Tone King, if in any way possible. I would also like up here Phil X, if in any way possible. He's still out there doing stuff, you know, why be hitting here with us? Pick whatever you want. So, and because he's new to the game, and that means he doesn't know how this is played, he just arrived today, he needs to be punished badly for that. Yeah, dude, you came in late to the party, now we're gonna make fun of you. Come on, come on. And I would say his full name, I still don't know how to say his last name, so this is Moracchioli.
Leo.
Moracchioli, Leo. Yeah, look at the fucker. Getting all the way over there. I don't want to sit next to the German. Well, someone will have to. Well, let's get Tom Quayle and Phil X up here. They should get a room later. I'll pay for it. Phil, Tom. And because he's texting and not paying attention, Trey.
If by texting you mean trying to share the live stream so that...
Yeah, okay, you're texting, sharing the live stream. It's all the same to me. You want your phone.
It won't work though. I can't get any Wi-Fi.
You know,
The live stream
if we were in school and I'd be your teacher, I'd be like, hand over your phone, Mr. Xavier.
I'm so old that we didn't have cell phones in school.
Yeah, me neither. We didn't even have pens. That's how old I am. I don't know. Hello, Phil? Phil X? Could someone tell these guys to get up here? No?
Nobody's got the cojones.
Does someone maybe have the balls to break up the love fest out there? Has anyone filmed Phil and Tom Quayle jamming yet in any of the rooms? Because that was my dream video. Those two in a room just, you know, noodling around. Jamming.
Yeah, let's get real specific.
There's Tom. Yeah, Where were you? Guy with balls, right there.
Hello. What's going on?
Tom Quayle, Phil X, you guys know those guys.
Yo.
We even stopped applauding in here because it's just like, yeah, we hang out, we're buddies, whatever.
You're sweating already.
So, what are we doing? Ask that again.
What are we doing?
Nothing. So the idea is we'll just fill up the stage because we have a stage. It is general Q&A. And I want to involve all these people as well. All these people on the YouTubes, there's more than these guys. Let me see who I see right now. There's Pixie Licks. And there's the guys from Clones. They can answer things too. And there's Jennifer James. And there's Jason McNamara. And there's Robert Bacon. If you text ethereal again or comment ethereal.
Look, he's on it, isn't he? Look.
He texted me 2 minutes ago. And he just wrote ethereal.
Say it again.
Ethereal. So who else do we have? Oh, Glenn. Yeah, we're going to make this interesting. Who else do we have? Any YouTubers? What Tor accounts? And there's Dan and Mick way back there, and Mary Spender, and Guitar Nerds, and Pedals Fusion. I can see those guys. There's Martin Miller. Don't hide, Martin. People can ask you about Ligi, Frigeven scales. I don't know guitar stuff.
That one has a sharp everything.
Sharp everything scale.
Sharp the root.
Sharp root scale. Okay. Glenn Fricker on bass tonight. That's a suggestion that I very much support. And then the next one is put Fricker on bass. The next one is Fricker on the bass. This is gonna happen.
Bro.
Glenn, this is so gonna happen. Then people from here, of course, are asking things again. When's the next Drills album dropping?
February. I'm hoping February.
February. It's not a funny question at all. Leo, how excited you be at GuitCon? That's not a question, people. Are you excited? I'm gonna make it one. Are you excited to be at GuitCon?
Of course I am.
There you go. Wow, this is really wow. We're Glenn Fricker on bass tonight. Fricker on bass.
He's not even up here.
Well, we said anyone, and we have the camera down there. Put it on Fricker. Keep it on Fricker all the frickin' time.
Who's the useless now?
Here, we have another vote for Fricker on bass, but we have something for Leo. What pedal would you use to turn a low gain valve amp into something high gain?
Tube screamer, maybe? Just easy.
Okay, anyone who disagrees with this? Stefan says Metal Zone. Anyone who disagrees with that? Where's Rick Graham? Does anyone know where Rick Graham is?
I have no idea. No idea at all.
We should call him and find out where he is right now. Anyone got his number? Tyler has his number probably. Yes, Tyler Larson's also here, by the way. Music is win. Tyler, find out where Rick is right now and let us know. Okay. This is so awesome. I'm sorry. This is totally awesome that we are capable of doing this. Put Glenn on bass.
He's where he always is. He's preparing.
Could you guys ask questions and not just make statements about the awesomeness of the people up here? Do you guys want to know how awesome you are? Because I can read all of these and tell you how awesome you are.
Yeah, do it.
Well, there's nothing about you there, Trey, sorry.
Damn it. I
There's
gambled and lost.
More things about Phil and his big knobs.
Wait. This is actually good. If there's no questions, we're done.
We're going to be done if you guys don't ask something. Okay, here we go. Not a bad question. Who in the panel has tried? Who on the panel has tried a Harley Benton guitar, and what did you think?
Bing, bing, bing. We actually did a video, Leo and I did a video today, which is going to go live tomorrow. And we checked out Harley Benton guitars. Why don't you share your opinion, and then I'll share mine.
Yeah, because I bought a used Harley Benton of almost a friend of mine, and it was just bent out of shape and just sucked. So that was my impression of Harley Benton, but that's because it was 10 years old and played not properly or set up. So when I tried it today, I was positively surprised. It looks great, and for the price, it's almost like like a painting you can put on the wall because it's so cheap. So
So they had a Les Paul looking, a Strat looking, all your usual suspects for.
Les Paul looking Strat?
No, Les Paul looking guitar and a Strat looking guitar and SG looking guitar, between 150 euros to 250 euros. And stunning looking guitars. The fit and finish was really nice. Yeah.
If I might point that out, today, late to the show, arrived a very special guitar that was made especially for a certain YouTuber whose name shall not be named. A signature guitar for a YouTuber from an inexpensive company that you guys should maybe try at some point. I want to hear you noodle on it. Just saying. They know. Those guys out there know. I'm not saying more than that. They should make we're going to make 42 of them. But apparently we have to make 43 because Phil wants one too. Do any of you guys currently have gas for some equipment?
Only always.
Yeah.
He wants to know if any of us have gas for gear acquisition syndrome.
Dude, we've just eaten a load of meat.
Not on what you think. On the giving you gas right there. Because
It's a bad thing for John to say.
just saying.
Is there... The thing is, like, alleviating your gas is always a temporary thing. You get, as soon as the box arrives at your house and you open it up, whatever it is that you've ordered, it's gone. And then there's a slow build up to having it again.
But
So-
what's your slow building up to?
Currently,
Yeah.
the Seymour Duncan power amp. What's it called? Power Stage, I think. Real cool little 700 watt solid state power amp that's supposedly it's very flat. It's good for modeling amps, but just the compactness of it and very high powered, because I want my rig to be just like this big. I am a lazy man, a lazy fat idiot, and I love compact all in one thing. So I've got my AX8 and I'm going to have this little power amp, and that'll be that. Show up to the gig, plop it down on somebody else's cab, plug it in, and then I'll wait for everybody else to get their shit set up. I'll go and have a Sprite. That's all I want.
He's really rock and roll.
Sprite is delicious.
You're going to wait for your gas to build up and then have a Sprite.
Yeah.
You know this is on YouTube forever now.
Yep. Some poor son of a bitch. I don't even own a 412 anymore. I was like, fuck 412s. Hauled one all over Europe for a 30-day tour, and 212s for life, or direct front of house.
What does Phil think about that?
About
fuming.
what? What do I think about what?
412s and having to carry them.
I do it, man. I do it. I have a truck for that reason, with the lid, so the 412, a couple of heads, and 4 guitars can be in there. Nobody knows what's in there. I don't wash it ever, just so people don't think it's a nice truck. And so far, it hasn't been broken into, so that's really cool. But no, I will hump a 412 in the ass. No, I'm just kidding. I will hump a 412 4 flights of stairs if I have to use that.
I have to say there is nothing like turning up. I heard there was a Plexi video being cut earlier, and if you've never experienced the full-on 100-watt head going into a 412, or even a full stack for that matter, it's the difference between going on a roller coaster versus sitting in a roller coaster simulator. Wow. And I think that's one of the things that you lose in the compact setups, is the experience of really turning an amp up. You know.
I have a very clever question here from Kimil82. What is Phil's license plate?
I was going for Phil fucking X, but it's too many letters. And no, I don't. Nothing special. Because then the truck will get stolen.
We always have to go for the fuzz. Why do we have to go for the fuzzes? I don't know. Favorite fuzz pedal or no fuzz at all? No fuzz at all.
Mine would have to be the Velvet Fuzz.
Which one?
The Velvet Fuzz. Wampler. Wampler.
Wampler.
It's really cool. It's not. It's kind of not a normal fuzz though. It's not really a fuzz, is it? Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's.
I think a fuzz pedal that has the least amount of fuzz is my favorite fuzz pedal. You know.
You guys out there, camera around. We have more than these people here. This is a random collection of people in the room. Robert Baker stopped saying ethereal. Robert, give this guy, hand one of the mics down there. These people need to participate here.
It's the name of his own pedal.
I want to do this one. You got it?
Yeah.
No, he pronounced it wrong too.
You've missed this, Hennig. Robert Baker asked probably the best question we're going to get the entire event. Trey, on a scale... I can't even do it without laughing. Trey, on a scale of 1, how sloth lazy are you?
Put the microphone in my hand.
Hold it up.
1. Is he coming to the party? It's a sloth joke. Nobody knows it. Okay. What, man, I did a fuzz pedal shootout this year after not liking fuzz ever, and after going through, I think, like 40 fuzz pedals in this shootout. Oh yeah, you guys should check it out. It's called the Ultimate Fuzz Pedal Shootout. You can click on every pedal and hear it instantly, so you can A/B any 2 pedals right away. Did you play the same thing through every pedal?
I reamped the same performance through everything through the exact same settings, so it's exactly scientific as you could possibly get without actually being a scientist, which I'm not, or a Scientologist for that matter. But I can't for the life of me remember which one was my favorite.
Okay, top 3.
No, like I can't even remember any of the names of them. No, okay. Because there were only so many that I kept, and it was because they were my favorites, and I can see them in my mind, and I can't remember what they're called. Come back to me.
Fuzz pedal. The BAE fuzz. The hot fuzz.
We have a great question here, and I think we should really go for it. Of course, I have to go in the audience and kick Tyler's ass, but Music is Win says, can Mary Spender host this shit? It's time to make live streaming great again, and I think he has a point.
Where's Mary?
Mary, could you please replace me?
Mary.
I think this is a very good idea.
It wasn't mine.
I give you my phone, any porn you find on here is not mine.
Thanks. Oh my god. Hi, my name is Mary Spender, and this is Wednesday Talks. Okay, I'm actually going to ask a question because I feel like a Q&A needs to have some questions. What was each of your first guitars? Your first guitar.
Mine was a filthy lime green Marlin Slammer. Yes! Somebody else. Seriously?
No, I'm just pleased.
Okay. And in case you were wondering, it was as shit as it sounds. It was terrible.
My fairy. All right, and we're done. No, my very first guitar was just some no-name classical nylon string acoustic that my mom gave me that was like hers in the 60s back when she was a dirty hippie burning her bra in Berkeley, and like all this. So she learned to play like 3 chords so she could play some like Simon and Garfunkel. And then one night I left it out on the floor, and in the middle of the night in the darkness she stepped right through it. And now it's a planter. Hello darkness, my old friend.
You're funny. Mine was a no name. Vox teardrop copy with like it was solid. No, it was hollow, and it had an F hole, fucking F hole, and it. No, it was funny because my dad was like, if you want to play this, just let me know, because he hung it on the wall because we had a really small apartment. And there were no stands. There was no guitar stands back then, unless you were, I don't know, somebody. So, and I climbed on a chair to get it off the hook because he wasn't home, and I was too weak because I was 5. I was too weak to lift it, so it came down, hit the ground, and split in half. But he glued it back together. But even when I was 5, I knew it was never the same.
You got a mic. But hey, you can have this back.
Mine was also a no name. Like you buy the guitar with the small amp. So I think I chose the guitar because you got a little PV 15 watts, and you could turn up the gain so it sounded kind of metal. And yeah, it was really shitty. But I remember, like, first couple of days I was playing the guitar, and it just sounded like crap, and I called my friend, like, I think it's broken, and they came up and tuned it.
So my first guitar was actually a Flying V that was hanging on the wall in Sam Goody in the Staten Island Mall. And my parents bought that for me for Christmas. So it was under the Christmas tree. And I still own that guitar. It's in pristine condition, even though I played it for several years. And my parents also helped me out with some upgrades on the guitar. It was actually a tag that said Seihan, S-A-E-H-A-N. So if anyone knows anything about Seihan, I think it was a factory in Korea or something like that. I'd like to know about it. But it was a no-name, white Flying V, your traditional Gibson ripoff. And they put some Grover tuners on, an EMG 81 and an 85, it was all soldered in. Yeah. And I actually did a talent show, my first talent show on that guitar. The first song I ever played in front of an audience on that guitar was Living After Midnight by Judas Priest.
Back when you were just the Tone Prince.
Yes.
By the way, did you make any... Did you make any tone prints with TC while you're here too?
Did I do what?
Did you make any tone prints with TC Electronic?
Friday morning we're doing the tone print.
Puns. Sorry, I've interrupted a lovely story. How old were you when you first got this guitar?
I think I was I don't know. How old are you in the 6th grade? I was in the 6th grade. So right around then. Yeah.
Okay, so my next question. This is again just from me.
Mary. Sorry to interrupt, but somebody's put in the answer to the question. Seihan became Vader.
What was that?
Sorry, became Vesta. Sorry, Seihan became Vesta. Somebody's put that as an answer.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so I have an expression, and it's quite well known, but when you meet someone that you really admire, you fangirl over them. Who have you fangirled over, and how awkward has it been?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Who have you met that you're really inspired by that you've fangirled over?
Fine gold?
Fangirled.
Oh,
it's my English accent, sorry.
Gotcha.
I've found gold over.
Can I take that one first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm inspired. So who inspires you? Is that kind of it?
Well, who have you met
Yeah.
that you were starstruck by?
All right, let me go last. Let me go last. I need to think about
it. I'm a real big Pantera fan, and I went to Oslo one time to see them a long time ago. I was sitting outside after the gig at a bar or something, and the bass player came over, and I was like, "Hey, Rex!" Just expecting him to, but he came over like, "Yeah, man, what's going on?" And I was like, "I don't know," and he just walked away. I was like, "Yeah, that's cool."
All right. I played guitar for probably 4 years before I heard Dream Theater for the first time, and then it was, that was the band that, like, John Petrucci was the first time I was like, oh shit, I need to start practicing my instrument, like, seriously. And Dream Theater was like huge for me as a guitar player, but I just love the band. And one time I met Jordan Rudess, the keyboard player, at this other gig, and I weirded him out by accident. I walked up to him, and at the time I was a student at Berkeley, and I walked up and I was in line and I bought a CD, and I was like, "It is so nice to meet you." Really, really great show. And he did one of these like, "Yeah, man." And like, he seems like an incredibly cool guy, but there's only so much you can do when you're faced with this. "Wow, thank you, so nice to meet you." Poor bastard.
So I had almost that exact experience with Alan Hines. You guys know Alan Hines? Oh, yeah. So I was at NAMM, and it's my first NAMM as well, so I was walking around like the most excited guy in the world that year. It's like 2010. And I saw him playing a trio jazz gig. So this was like, I was a jazz guy, and like my mind was blown because he was reading a real book, which was just like, oh my God, he does that too. So I saw the trio playing, and I hung around for about half an hour, like thinking, do I hump his leg, or what do I do when he comes off? I have no idea what to do. I was so excited. And because I was so excited, I went up to him. And you know that thing where you want to talk to somebody, but your mouth does everything it can to stop you from saying what you need to say? And so I have no idea what came out of my mouth, but it wasn't anything that resembled English. And he did the same thing. He kind of went, "Yeah, nice to meet you, dude," and then just wandered off. And I followed him. Because all I could think was, I have to rescue this situation somehow, and I just made it worse and worse and worse. And so NAMM is one of those things, if you've ever been, you are probably going to bump into someone again at some point during the show. And you'll see them walking down the corridor towards you. If you've been, it's like New York, it's all set out in blocks, and you'll see someone coming towards you, and every time I saw him, I ducked down the nearest aisle in the opposite direction, because there was no way I could rescue my dignity. And all I wanted was to say hello to the guy. It was horrible. Sorry, Alan Hines, if you ever see this, I do apologize profoundly. It's horrible.
I do. I could go. You want me to go? Yeah. So I'll give you two, because to me they were interesting. On a positive note, I was in San Francisco Airport, SFO, and I saw Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, and he was with a behemoth. I'm a big guy. This guy was about 3 times my size. I guess it was his bodyguard. And I got all fanboy. I'm like, holy crap, that's, And the irony is that I was actually wearing an Aerosmith shirt. So I was kind of standing over here, and he was kind of standing over there, and I was like, dude, show my Aerosmith shirt. And he looked at me, and then he looked, and he went like this to his shirt. I thought that was kind of weird, and, gave him one of those and just carried on, my business. It's kind of awkward.
And then you realized it was just somebody's hip grandma.
But it was kind of cool. It was a little awkward. And on a negative note, I was in Disney World, in the Pirates of the Caribbean gift shop when I saw Dave Hetfield with his family. Yeah, I'm sorry, James Hetfield. Excuse me. Yeah. And, you know, I'm with my wife and my kids, and he's with his family, and I'm like, honey, like... So I was like, hey, man, big fan. You know, maybe take a picture? And he was like, yeah, not now. I'm like, okay, thanks. Also kind of awkward, but yeah, I didn't get the picture. And, you know. And so that was that. And it kind of sucked because I was like, man, I did love Metallica, you know. What was the thing we learned? We were almost friends, you know.
You can't really do that.
The funniest thing about the fact that he just said Dave Hetfield is about 5 minutes ago, somebody wrote a comment saying, the Tone King is more metal than me.
I don't know. Is that good or bad? I don't know.
Well, the fact that you got Dave Hetfield instead of James Hetfield kind of makes you not really very metal.
There you go, yeah.
Good point. Mine was, you'd think it'd be a guitar player, right? But it wasn't. It was Chris Cornell. But I was in the studio with Chris Cornell. And it was one of those moments where I tracked the basic guitars with, I think it was Josh Freese in the studio, and he didn't come in. And then I tracked all the guitars the following day, and he didn't come in. But then they called me and said, hey, can you come in on Tuesday at 8 o'clock? So Chris wants to be here when you do the solo. And it was like, what the fuck? So I go in, and Chris, he was sitting on the couch. And seriously, I was like, almost mortified. I was like, oh my God. And he didn't stand up, he just shook my hand, and I picked up a guitar. But he had done the vocal, so now he was sitting on the couch, and I was listening to his extraordinary voice come out of the near fields while I was getting ready to do a solo. And I'm like, how do you break the ice? Come on, how do you break the ice? And then I just... When I go into the studio to lay it on a solo, it's like I'm on stage. It's like I give everything I got. I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to stand. In fact, I need a longer cable because I'm going to run around a little bit. And I remember doing the first take, and he was sitting on the couch, and he goes, that was great, but I think you need a little more gain. And I go, yeah, but it looked good, right? And he laughed too, so that was really cool. I thought, okay, I broke the ice, yay! And then I did another take, and that was the one they went with, and it was pretty awesome. It was, that was mine.
I've actually got a good one for all the metalheads in the room because I love metal, as you all do. In May this year, I went to the Megadeth and Anthrax concert in Tokyo, and Willie G, who's Dave Mustaine's guitar tech, is a really, really, really good friend of mine, and I'm friends with Kiko Loureiro as well, who plays in the band now. And I've known the other guys for a bit, but I'd never met Mustaine before. And I was backstage. I had a working pass, even though I wasn't working. I'm lucky. I know people. Anyway, and Dave Mustaine walks past, and I'm like, oh, shit, there's Mustaine. What the hell do you say to Mustaine? Because we all know he's got a reputation for being himself, which is fine. And I'm standing there, and the only thing that could come to my head, and I mean, I've met everybody. I know so many of these dudes, and with him, it was just a bit weird because there's always that pressure. It's Dave Mustaine. Don't mess this up. And I said to Dave, it's good to meet you, and I just want to say thank you so much for remaining yourself and being metal, and it's great. It's really cool. You know, you've done all this stuff, and you've just always remained you. And he looked at me like he didn't understand what I was saying. And I was like, well, I didn't say that because I wanted to suck your dick or anything. And he looked at me even worse. Like, I think he actually thought I said that I wanted to suck his dick, and it was the weirdest, most uncomfortable thing ever.
There's another one.
So, my band played Reading and Leeds in 2015, and it was awkward as it was because it was like the first big thing we'd ever done. And we got on to, well, we weren't allowed in there, but we went to the RSK room bit because they had really, really good cheese and bread. And I'm basically like waiting in line, and I've got my bread and butter roll. I'm dead excited because I see this big pile of brie, and I'm like eyeing it up. I'm so concentrated in getting to the brie that like I'm kind of like wandering out of the queue at this point, and someone basically barges into the side of me and knocks my bread roll out of my hand, but it goes behind me, and like buttered bread always lands butter side up. So I bend down and like I see it's on someone's foot, which is bad enough because it's awkward. And then I picked it up and like I was on the floor and I looked up to go and see who it was and apologize. And then I realized it was Kirk Hammett. So like I didn't know what to say. I couldn't apologize. So I just asked him. I was like, did you want this? To which he replied, I'm all right. Got out the queue and yeah, fucked off. So, it was so bad. Did you want? Yeah.
Colin.
I've got one that probably will only make sense to the British people in the audience. Do you remember a TV show when you were a kid called Art Attack? Yes. Yes. I met Neil Buchanan, my absolute hero from childhood. Now,
this is the best one yet.
Now, what you may not know about Neil Buchanan, you probably do, is that he used to play in a new wave of British heavy metal band at the time when like Judas Priest and Dire Straits were going out. He toured with all of them, and after he didn't make a success in that band, he went on to do children's television and did Art Attack, which was an art show where he, showed you how to make stuff and paint stuff and build models and all that sort of thing. And he would do a thing in the show, The Big Art Attack, where he'd get a massive area, probably like a field, and get all these objects, and he'd make a piece of artwork with this and have a big overhead camera. It'd look cool. So we found out that he was back in his band Marseille, and they were touring, and they were playing Glasgow. And we were like, we've got to go and see him. So a few of my friends, we went out, and we're standing outside the venue waiting for them to load in because we're going to meet him and all that. And we thought, what would be really cool is if we just made a big art attack on the ground with the objects that we had with us. And we had basically nothing. We had some shoes and jackets and a bag. And what can we make? So we made a snail. We'd managed to coil a jacket into the shell and get the snail and the stalks and the eyes. And I thought, right, we've got a fairly decent looking snail. We've got our shoes off, all this, standing in the middle of the street, waiting for Neil Buchanan to turn up. So they're all loading in, and he comes up, and we go, Neil, what do you think of our big art attack? And he looks at it and goes, that was shit, and just kicked it and walked off. No, but to bring it back, he did then come back and speak to us, and he was the loveliest guy. So he's not a horrible person. I don't want you to break your childhood. He was lovely.
Yeah, don't ruin my childhood. Okay, so next question. If you could become a Frankenstein of guitar players, so your right hand was one guitar player and your left hand was another guitar player. I have taken this from the interwebs, so...
Can I go first?
Yes.
I want Tom Quayle's left hand.
Crowd pleaser.
Get a knife.
Actually, I have a funny story, because Bumblefoot, you guys know Bumblefoot, was doing a gig in Glasgow, and he sent me a picture. I think this is what it was. I was a bit confused, but it was like a thumb in a glass on a bar, and he said, basically, that's going to be your thumb the next time I see you. Which was pretty cool to have that from Bumblefoot, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, who was your right hand?
I think I'll keep mine.
Hey. Nice.
Only because it'd be hard to get two completely different human hands to work together for at least 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I just start with your left, I think I'll be okay in about 4 months.
Okay, I need some time to think about this.
No time, go!
Somebody...
No time, go!
You
better say me, man. I'm just kidding.
I might keep... No, hang on. I want Holdsworth left hand, and Holdsworth right hand as well. That'll do me.
But then it's not Frankenstein.
Oh no, that's true. It is if they're on my body. Okay, I will have... Let's have a think about this. Kirk Hammett's right hand. I'll have Kirk Hammett's right foot. I didn't say anything bad. You thought it. I didn't say it. I will have Frank Gambale's right hand. That's a cool one to have. Yeah, that's a very cool one to have.
All right. Who's the... I know, but I don't want everybody to know that I can't think of the fucking guy. Okay. So I'll take Joe Pass's left hand and Jason Richardson's right hand. How you gonna fuck with that? Shit. Well, now I know what I gotta do for the rest of my life.
I think I take the right hand from Tommy Emmanuel. Then he could play a lot of cool stuff. Left, I don't know, Guthrie Govan, maybe he can play most things. So you could be open for anything.
All right, so here comes the uneducated answer. I would take Jake E. Lee's left hand and Warren D. Martini's right hand. Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
I'm going to go with John Mayer here and Steve Morse here, because that would be really weird. I don't even know if that works together, but...
It will work.
We wouldn't have
That's the
sync,
rule.
but it would still be cool.
Okay. I would have Tosin Abazi's right hand and I can't say John Mayer now because it's already been said, but Henning beat me to it. I would have, but that would be so out of, if I had Steve Vai's left hand, that would be very, very...
You'd look weird with such a big hand.
I know, but it would look great as well. I will go Tom Quayle's left hand.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was very honoured to get to jam with you. I'm just fangirling over you now. That's stupid. Fangirling over all of you. Is it really awkward?
This can be your new awkward fangirl story.
Yeah. I don't actually have... Actually, no, I've got plenty of awkward moments, but we don't need to go into that. Okay, actually. So there's another question about... so it's kind of based on the BBC Radio 4 programme Desert Island Discs. But I think we'll change the answer, and it's like, what would you take to a desert island, guitar and amp-wise? So you could have anything, but you could... Oh, really? I was listening. But does it apply to... We've got new people here. So, have you answered this already?
No.
Go for it, Tom.
What was it? Guitar and amp?
Yeah. So desert for the rest of your life.
Oh, man. I have to... I have endorsement deals.
Now's the time.
Yeah, I mean... a Laney Lionheart 2x12 combo, which, funnily enough, genuinely is a ridiculous amplifier. So this is totally genuine. And guitar. I think I would have to take a heavy metal Strat. I just think that's a really cool guitar, and because of my Greg Howe obsession. I've never played a heavy metal Strat, but I think they look cool. No, actually, I'm going to change it to a Charvel Sandemus.
Nice.
With a quarter-sawn maple neck.
Good choice.
That's a great guitar. I'm not cool enough for it, but I reckon I could pull it off on a desert island.
Nobody's watching. Exactly.
I'm a simple man. First of all, HM Strats are rad. I have played one. The neck is like crazy flat. They look just awful. The color, the shade of green that you could get on those was horrendous. But I love my Kiesel TL70. No complaints there. I'll take that. And, well, I mean, this is kind of a hard question because, of course, it's going to be whatever the favorite thing is that I have at the moment, or that I've been. So yeah, okay. And it's not. Well, it's not just that. But my favorite amp of all time, the Rev Generator 120. There isn't one. Did they bring 120 or did they just have the 100 here? You can play one tomorrow, YouTubers.
I've got to ask, actually.
Fucking great.
Just before anyone else answers, am I allowed to swear? Like, I know we already did, but like, I'm gonna. Okay. Does anybody remember an amp from like a NAMM show from 1980 something, or maybe the early 90s called the Fucking Fucker? Yeah, sure. I'm gonna change mine to that.
Because then you can giggle on the island while you... Sorry, real quick. The reason that I would bring the Rev isn't just because I love it and because I work for them, but because it has 4 channels and 2 very distinct high-gain sounds. And I need variety in my life, even if I'm just playing by myself on the desert.
Aren't you too lazy to switch channels?
You would think that, because I'm lazy.
Mine's easy because everything was made for me, actually. So the Framus XG, because I co-designed it, and it turned out fabulous. The Friedman X signature amp, because I was in the shop when Dave had the chassis open with the solder iron and components, and we were switching shit out. And then it was finally one single alligator clip put in the precise place that made me go, fuck, that's it. And then, aside from the guitar actually has a pickup that was made for me by Arcane, and it's a PX90. So when somebody comes up to me and says, man, you have a fucking killer tone, and I go, well, if I didn't, I'd be a fucking idiot.
I'm lazy. You can't even be fucked to switch pickups.
I think I would need variation, so I would probably go for something like Variax or something, just so I could get different tones, and like either a Kemper or a Helix, just because I want different sounds. I wouldn't just want one amp and one sound the rest of my life on a desert island. I want to make the guitar sound like a banjo or something. So, and you can do that now. So, why not?
So I'm going to go a little off the beaten path here. I would, during the heyday of the rack era, that was very exciting. So I would go with a Mesa Boogie quad preamp with a either a Carvin T100 or a Mesa 5050 power amp, a Rocktron Intellifex, and a Marshall 1936 stereo cabinet, and a Charvel Model 6. That's what I would bring on a desert island.
All right. What would I take to it? Okay. I felt like as host I shouldn't be that egotistical. I would take, I was very lucky and I played a Fender 1956 Strat last week, and I'd probably have to take that just so I could brag to myself that I'm playing it. And then I think I'd go for like something ridiculous, like an Orange TH30 with just a mass of cabs, and I'd take that because it's my rule, so it's my game. Okay, so trying to get out some more hilarious stories from you all. What was the worst gig you've ever played? Or like, what was the worst hilarious moment at a gig you've ever played? Or most embarrassing moment?
I'm just going to start because I'll forget. That's what happens when you're 50. So this was interesting because it started out as a great gig. And I was playing in 2 bands at one time in LA, and one played a big place with like a high ceiling and 1,200 people, and then the other place was like the Cat Club, which was like maybe 120 capacity and a small stage with a low ceiling. So when I talk about this, when I do a finale with any band, I kind of lose my mind and I'm abducted and I'm not thinking. So I just do this finale. And in the big place, I would throw the guitar up like 20 feet, and it would come down, and I'd catch it and hit a last chord and say, thank you, good night. 4 days later, I played the Cat Club with my other band, and I wasn't thinking. And I'm like, I better not, you know, I'm throughout the set, I'm going, hey, I better not throw the guitar in this place, because the ceiling's like right there. So, but I lose my mind, because it's the finale, and I throw the guitar up, and the heel goes into the ceiling, and the guitar ricochets into my face. Headstock first, cuts me here, and the adrenaline's pumping, so I don't really understand what's happened. So I put the guitar back on, and I'm hitting a chord, and I feel something trickle down my face. And I look at my bass player, I'm like, dude, am I bleeding? He's like, yeah, we should stop. Then the thank you, good night. Then emergency. Then they don't use stitches anymore, so crazy glue. Flesh adhesive, healed nicely. I'm okay now.
Shall I go next, or do you want to? Okay. So I did a dep on a big band gig. So mine is way less rock and roll. So yeah, I did a dep on a big band gig, and they were always really difficult gigs because you're reading everything. And so I turned up and was told, this was a band called Niger, which is a national youth jazz orchestra, which is quite a big deal in the UK. And I turned up and was told we'd have at least 2 hours of rehearsal. No rehearsal. And then they said, you need to wear a Niger jumper. So they gave me this jumper, and it was like, I was really skinny at the time. And this was an extra, extra large. So I rolled the sleeves up, and they were like out here. And I was playing a 175, which is a big guitar. So by the time I'd put this jumper on, I was playing guitar like this. And the guy, the band leader, hands me the pad of all the charts. There's probably 150 tunes in there, and they're all out of order. And they all look like bird shit on the page. And they've all got handwritten things on, and you can't tell what's what. And all the chord symbols are bizarre. Like, nobody's ever seen a chord symbol like this before. And the band leader, the curtain goes up, and he goes, number 56. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm searching for number 56. And eventually I find it, and it's like all the horn lines are written out, and I'm supposed to be doubling all of this stuff. The solo changes are ridiculous, so I kind of fudge my way through that one, and I'm stressed, and like I'm out here playing guitar. And I'm playing through a Fender Twin, which is a loud amp anyway, probably as loud as the big band. And after the second tune, when I'm super stressed and sweaty, someone pushes a boost pedal in front of me and says, you know, the next solo you take, we can't hear you, so you need to push this boost pedal. And so my solo comes up, and I kind of fumble around and hit this boost pedal, and suddenly I am loud enough to take the roof off the place. And you've got like horns galore sat next to me, and the drum kit, everything, and you can't hear anybody except me. And of course, in that scenario, you play the worst solo you've ever played in your entire life. And at the end of the gig, and actually I heard 2 people on the front row. Like on jazz gigs, you get the super like jazz kind of police sat in front of you, and I heard 2 old people turn around to each other and go, that guitar player's got no idea what he's doing. And they were right, of course. And after the gig, of course, the major irony of this whole thing was that 2 of my parents' best friends were sat in the audience and said to me, yeah, that was really good. Would you like a lift home? And it was an 1.5-hour drive, and I had to sit in the back of their car, and all I wanted to do was curl up and die, and all they wanted to do was talk about the gig and politely tell me how fantastic this was. And it was the worst experience of my entire life. Awful, awful gig. So there we go.
I don't know. I used to do like somersaults up the stage. Yeah. And we played at a place called Beton, which is concrete in English. And it is. Because I hit the floor like back, flipped over, and just people didn't catch me. So, and that happened a few times. So yeah.
So it's funny, you mentioned about having some family at your gig. So I used to play in a band called Sweet Mercy a long time ago. And we did a show in Manhattan. It was it was like a stage, and it was a street show. And my parents decided to show up for this one. And I have to tell you, I've never had my parents showed up at any gig. and it was really fucking awkward. And I was the keyboard player for this band, and it was really, talk about feeling awkward. Because, you know, anytime you normally gig, you know, having fun, you're with friends, you have a couple of drinks, life is good. Didn't feel that way with my parents that decided to, you know, come along and check this out. So it was probably my most awkward. It's more of an awkward moment for me. That's probably the only thing that comes to mind there.
So, Lewis, we see that this is what you're choosing to do with your life. Wow, the Tone King was a keyboard player.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. I haven't like really done enough shows to like do like the real good fuck ups. But okay, so I was briefly for like 6 months the singer for this metal band in Northern California called Shattered Theory. Okay. And we were about as popular as a fart, and like just nobody knew who we were, and I was just the singer. Okay, I've never been just the singer for a band before. I'm a guitar player, and normally I've got a guitar in front of me, and that's my like, you know, my shield. And I was trying to be Mr. Frontman, like Mr. Personality, like yeah, you know, like, and I was experimenting, all right, with a little bit of stage persona. Okay, I am not a born rock star like some. Okay, like I was putting it on. All right, I was putting on the Ritz, and we played this bar. This was the last gig I ever did with them, and you'll see why. I got up there and we did a couple songs, and this was like super shreddy melodic death metal. And you know, I did a lot of like death metal vocals, and like this, you know, one song came to the end, and it was like, you know, there's like 8 people in the bar, none of them are paying attention, and I said something to the effect of like yeah, this band runs on boobs, so let's see them. You're not, you know, it's not rock and roll to ask to get flashed by girls. They're supposed to just do it. You're supposed to inspire it in them. Wow, I mean, if the silence from 8 people could have gotten any more silent, that's what it sounded like. It was unbelievable, and I felt like a giant fucking idiot. So don't ever do that. Learn from my mistakes.
I'm going to share mine too before I have to kick some of you off the stage. You think 8 people is bad? Wait a second. My first gig with my first band where we did original stuff, it was a hall about 8 times this big, okay, it's huge. I'm on stage wearing a blouse with like ruffles because I had long hair. I was wearing a blouse because that's what Yngwie Malmsteen had, okay? And the only person in the room is my mom.
Was it her blouse?
It was not her blouse, no. But this is a true story. We were on stage, and it was my mom. So 8 people? Dude, we didn't have that many. Really. I did not do the boobs thing. No, okay. So I did not, no. But
she probably would have done it.
Just to please, you know, my mom is that cool. She might have, yes. So I'm going to ask.
I just want to support you, honey.
You off to the stage, and you 3. I want you and you to stay here.
Wow. Okay. You too?
Yeah.
Am I in trouble?
Oh, thank you. You might possibly be in trouble. So you talked about your amazing guitar with your amazing pickup. Which it is. It is a freaking amazing guitar. I mean, it's a tree trunk of a neck, but that's what you wanted, and you know what? They built it for you. So
I just wanted to remind me of when No, I'm just kidding.
Right. welcome to GuitCon, you know? This is the kind of content that we like. So I wanted to get all you guys here to have fun and all this, but I experienced this thing 2 years ago, 2 years ago with Basecamp and stuff, and I discovered these great guitars here. And I was hoping that some of you, we all have our preferences, you know, also maybe find out, hey, Framus, not too shabby. So this guy over there found out Framus, not too shabby. Also found out that this guy over there kind of sounds good with the Framus, which is not too shabby. So this guy over there goes to the big head-honcho man who's somewhere here. Is Hans-Peter here somewhere? Hans-Peter? 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 He's outside. Why is he outside? Because I'm in here. Okay, I get that. So he walks up to Hans-Peter and says, I want what Phil has. So this guy bought your guitar. And not like one of the little ones. He bought like the real deal.
The Max?
The Max with everything, with coffee maker and everything. So this is it, which is now...
So I get to open it?
Which is now his. But he only will buy it if you sign it, and Hans-Peter signs it. I don't know if I lick it or something. I don't know if we should do that, because then it's mine.
Wow.
You invite a guitar collector to GuitCon. How do you not walk out with a guitar?
Yeah,
right?
Can't do it. Come on.
And the cool thing is that I probably use these in all the videos I did yesterday, I think. And
Did you? This was the one in the...
that's the one, I think so, yeah.
This has your cooties on it?
It's got goodies on it.
Awesome. So in the front, where is Hans-Peter? Come here.
Whoa.
He's so shy. Also, it's very difficult to tell us apart when he's on stage. So I've been told that in the front there are some Sharpies.
Okay. We'll make this official here.
They look like you stole them from my office.
You have black Sharpie?
No, Marcus, we're not going to sign it in black.
There it is. Thank you very much.
And there is more. We're going to get this crap off the stage. Even though I promised that Mary and the pedal show guys would open up, but since this happened, we're going to have Phil start the jam, and Lewis is going to join him with his brand new guitar. Is that cool? Okay, so we'll do this. Everyone out there in YouTube land, stay tuned, as one says, for this magic occasion, and then many more people will come on. I have instructed Dan Steinhardt to make it happen. I'm putting you on the spot, Dan, for you guys to be up here with Tom Quayle. If Tom Quayle leaves, it is your responsibility to stop him from leaving. Because I want Tom on the stage. I want Pete Thorne on the stage in some form or other. Possibly with Tom Quayle. We have Martin Miller here. We want the flying finger people. Okay? No one leaves before you guys have been up here. I'm not making videos every day. I can walk around, kick your asses, okay? We have 2 more days for me to kick your asses. So I want these people to be up here. Please. Stay tuned. This is going to happen. And can I drop this? No. I'm not cool enough to do this. I'll put it down.
I was joking about the help. I mean, I'm kind of good. Oh. Check that shit out.
I don't know what you guys are doing, but if you've got a bass player, or do you need me to play bass today?
Guess it is. I wasn't prepping the stage, so.
Yeah. And the setup is exactly as you left. And when you turn it off, it just comes up as exactly the same.
Yeah.
In the next firmware, yes, but I personally made it and the same with the preamp and the
I'm here, Chip. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
This cap? We'll just need.
We need to mic it?
We need
Can
to
use
stand, yeah? With this big ass stand?
Boom. Let's roll. Gas needs to be turned on.
Oh. Test. Test.
Jason, I think, is
One,
going to play bass.
one. Testing. It's okay. One, go. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test. Test. 1, 2, 3. All right. We'll need all the mics in the monitor for the drummer. He got him.
All right, Phil, can you turn down your amplifier, please? Thank you.
He's loud as hell. You need the kick drum or something there? You need the kick? It's okay.
We need
table. This is not long enough.
Yeah, so it's series parallel split.
Right. Bass cue.
Nothing here. Here. Do we have a strap? Okay. Well, should we get a strap? Should we get a sound first?
Yeah, we should. Give me the guitar.
Let's get a sound first.
Okay.
Hey Trey. Use the rhythm.
I need a stand.
We can hang up.
Just hold this one for me.
Sure. Yeah, it's oh, good point. Oh.
Hey man, can we have a hand for Marco?
Do you want to get a different guitar?
Working his ass off all day long
Do you want to play a different guitar?
and crazy as fuck. So, I got no monitor, buddy. Check 1 2. Check. Check. Ah, there it is. Thank you.
He's getting something.
He's doing what?
He's getting something backstage. So,
Probably got it from you. Check 1 2. Check. All right.
unless you want to play a whole lot of love.
No changes at the end. What are you playing? No changes at the end.
Hey.
You need coolin', baby, I'm not fooling. I'm just saying, go back to your schooling. Way down inside, honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Oh, what all that love. What all that love. What all that love. You've been yearning, baby, I mean yearning. All the good times, baby, you've been yearning. Way down inside, honey, you need it. Gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Oh yeah. What all that love. What all that love. What all that love. Woman, you need. Pray for me, girl. I wanna be a big man. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, 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 my. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going, baby, baby. Keep it going, baby. I keep it going, baby. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Tone Prince, Tone King, come on up with that brand new guitar.
Absolutely no rehearsal. Hopefully I don't fuck it up.
Dude, nobody's rehearsing, and we're all fucking up.
I'll tell you what's funny is one of the comments that was on the live stream.
I don't know. How are you tuned?
One of the comments that was on the live stream, Lewis, was somebody says, "Oh my God, I can't believe I heard the Tone King say fucking, and now you said fuck a second time tonight, and they'd never heard you do it ever before."
I'm not on my channel?
Exactly.
Hey man, he's got lightning on his strap. He's up.
Yeah, I got the news, baby, all about your disease. Yeah, you may have all you want, baby, but I got something you need. Yeah, ain't talking about love. My love is right to the core. We ain't talking about love, just like I told you before. Yeah, before, you know, you see my good looking. Ain't on the streets again. Oh yeah, you think you're really cooking, baby. You better find yourself a friend. My friend, I ain't talking about love. My love is right to the core. We ain't talking about love, just like I told you before. We ain't talking about love. My love is right to the core. We ain't talking about love, just like I told you before. The people are bitter the air, and I stood and looked round. You know I lost a lot of friends, baby. Ain't got no tamarins around. So if you want, you got to bleed, baby. You got to bleed, baby. Ooh, you got to bleed, baby. Ha! You got to bleed, baby. We ain't talking about love. No one that you wanna know. I ain't talking
Thanks, man. Don't you want to play something else? We're gonna try it.
I've never played this on bass, so that could be interesting.
Wait. You don't say that right before.
I have to have a disclaimer because
Okay.
I don't want to look that bad.
Okay, this is Detroit Rock City by Kiss. Soon to be called Trainwreck City. You start? I'll start, right? Okay. That was a quarter not bad. You're welcome. Toad King on the guitar. Magic on the drums. Jason on the bass, who's usually a guitar player but offered his services. On backgrounds, too.
That was an awesome compliment, Henning.
Is Pete still in the house? Pete Thorne? Oh, dude, come on up.
The word has come through from YouTube subscribers that if Pete Thorne doesn't get on this stage, they're all going to unsubscribe.
We're going to start repeating. Everybody doing all right? All right. And if anybody else wants to get up, just say something after the next song. The last, well, yeah, then. But start thinking. And maybe we should get Mary up here again, too, because she's fucking awesome. Unless she left. Did Mary leave? Does anybody have a tuner in their pocket? Henning?
Yeah, right.
Dude, I wouldn't ask you. That's not your only option. Can I do that?
Bo, Pete's going to be using the Marshall. Okay?
Turn it down a little bit, please.
Check, check. Check, check. Hey, can we get a bit more of this mic through this wedge for Pete, please? Hey, 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 hey.
Anybody else got another tuner?
Check, check, 1, 2, hey. A little bit more through here. This mic's extremely mid-range. Actually, can you drop a bit of the reverb? Too much reverb. Hey. And maybe drop a little bit of the mid. Oh, that's better. Hey, a little bit less mid-range, please. Upper mids are way too high. And a little bit more bottom end, please, in this mic.
It's like 800 hertz.
Yeah, he knows. Hey, hey, that's a little bit more bottom, please. Hey, hey, 1, 2. Check, 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 check.
Comparison. It's fine.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Anybody want to check?
Oh, I got one. Thank you.
Oh, you got one? Thank you, sir. You want to check?
Hey, hey, hey. What up, GuitCon? It's the two Canadians.
Two Canadians. And an Aussie and a Polish guy.
2 Canadians, an Aussie, and a Pole walk into a bar.
You want to start? You want me to start?
You start.
Okay. Don't speed up. That means I'm gonna.
Living easy, living free. Season ticket on a one-way ride. Asking nothing, leave it be. Taking nothing, get a different stride. Just in prison, done it right. There's nothing I'd rather do. Go to town, party time.
jam in.
Sit back there out all night. Why don't bring you going? Don't think that's acting right. You don't think it's showing. Jumping up, falling down, love is understanding. You've been out nothing brown, what you done to end me? I get a drum myself.
That's Jason on the bass, man. Jason on the basin.
You all been waiting for Pete Thorne on the guitar.
Pete Thorne on the guitar, man.
Phil X.
John and Felix on one stage, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah!
He gave me a cue. It was like this, and I thought it could be A for anarchy, or possibly give me 3 hits.
Completely understandable.
I thought it was going to be one of those. Okay, somebody else come up and play. Who wants to jam?
You know what? Let's do this. Let's take 5. I'm going to go stand by Henning and come to me and tell me what you want to play, and then we'll figure it out.
Hello. Message to YouTube. We are not done. Nutsos are tuning guitars in ways that they shouldn't be tuned. And people are preparing things. So something very special or something awful is going to happen here very soon. Stay tuned. That's with an S. I can't say S's. Stay tuned. Weird.
You have strap? You need a strap. Oh, there's 2 straps back here. You put it away too soon. Huh? Oh, shit. You know what I'll do? I'll change. Still works. I want both you guys put the strap as both. I'm listening. I'm listening.
What have I done? I didn't touch mine. Bam, bam, bam.
You know the funniest thing about calling like that, Robert? The funniest thing about calling for a fight between Henning and Trey. I said the funniest thing about calling a fight between Henning and Trey is Henning would automatically win because Trey is too lazy to get off his chair and fight.
vocals in the monitor, please. Main vocal in the monitors, both monitors. That's gonna be good. Oh, hey. A little more. Try it now.
Thanks, man. Let's have it for Marco one more time. Okay, this is a 5-string. If I hit any low, bad notes, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. All right, who's starting?
Well, she's walking through the clouds with a sunken smile, running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. Oh, silver tossed around is riding with the wind. When she's there, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She turns to me. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Take anything you want from me, baby. Oh, take anything you need. Somebody blow. Through the clouds, yeah, with a sucker smile, come wild. butterflies and zebras and the moonbeams. All she ever talks about, all she ever talks about, all she ever talks about. Wait, I want one more solo. One more, nice and quiet. Bring it. Fly away, little Wayne. Fly away, little Wayne.
All right, where's Mick? Mick in the house, come and sing. Is that this mic? Oh, I thought you were leaving. This is my escape.
We'll swap partway through. What key are you going to do this in?
B flat. A?
B flat?
Isn't it A?
A? I thought it was
Is it
A.
B flat?
I don't mind. Happy with either.
What are you, you're singing it, so
Yeah, either.
sing your picks.
Uh,
Are you going to play with an
We're going to do a bit of guitar swapping. Ooh. I believe you guys wanted to do this. Okay. It's blues, so if you want to take a sleep for a little while. No, it's cool. We're going to swap leads. We're going to do the amazing swapping leads during the song. There's a red house over yonder, baby. That's where my baby stays. There's a red house over yonder, baby. That's where my baby stays. I ain't been home to see my baby 99 1/2 days. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. This key won't unlock the door. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Lord have mercy, this key won't open the door. I got a bad, bad feeling. My baby don't live here no more. as well go back over yonder, baby. Way back across the hill. Lord, I might as well go back over yonder, babe. Lord, have mercy, way back across the hill. Cause if my baby don't love me no more, I know her sister will. Thank you.
Handing it. What's always with the mic at like this level? Thank you. Michiel, right there. You can't stay here. You gotta go home. Of course, the people on the YouTube, you can't stay home because you're not here. Tomorrow night, what are we talking? Is the electric guitar really dead? Or something like this? Is that the topic? We're at GuitCon and we're actually asking that. Apparently someone, I think it was Over. Everyone blame Over. He came up with that topic. Apparently we're going to sit here and discuss this. Yeah, he's a bass player, right. That is why he came up with that topic. So Marco is raising his hand as if we're in school. Marco, yes, please. No, we cannot talk about women. We're talking about whether the electric guitar is really dead. For reasons I don't understand. Yes, that is. We're going to see what the topic brings. At 8 o'clock, everyone tune in. Now, live stream, bye-bye. Go into bed, sleepy time. Why is Mick coming here? Where's Mick running?
Has anyone said thank you to Henning yet? We should say thank you, Henning. What this guy's pulled off this week is nothing short of amazing, and thanks to the guys at Warwick as well. I know it's not over yet, but I think someone should say thank you to him to keep his spirits up for this week.